In Python, long-running operations are going to block the current worker or thread. And this means that my application could be unresponsive and might not perform as well when I'm dealing with multiple requests. How can I manage this? By using asynchronous programming. Let's explore how we can do this in less than 5 minutes. My sample application here, what you're going to notice is I'm simulating a long-running operation by utilizing time.sleep. What's going to happen at this point is that the thread will then be taken over, meaning that this application won't be able to do anything else. So if I wanted to introduce any form of like a message to let people know that we're running a long-running operation or allow for a cancel, I'm not able to easily do that. But Python offers me an async IO library. And so with async IO, what I can do is rewrite this to now use that library. And what this will do is it will put this onto a different thread, onto a different worker, and allow me to continue working if I needed to. Now you'll notice that I'm getting red squigglies here, and the reason for that is in order for me to perform this asynchronous operation, I need to utilize this keyword await, which basically means that this line right here, line number 8, this is not going to run until the line up above it completes. So basically my code will behave in a synchronous fashion, but it's going to still put this onto a separate thread. You'll notice that I'm still getting red squigglies though. The reason for that is because I need to mark that this function is going to utilize that little await call here. So I need to mark this as asynchronous, and I can do that here. This is a very common pattern in programming, this async await. I mark the function as being asynchronous, and then that operation will then be on my await. You'll notice that now when I go to call this long operation, I always now need to use the await keyword. There we go. And in turn, I also then need to mark this function as asynchronous. The last thing that you're going to notice is down here at the very bottom on my main, I'm once again getting those red squigglies. And the reason for that is because in Python, it's going to want to run this in that synchronous environment. So if I want to mark this as asynchronous, I now need to update this to use that async IO and then specify run. And now that will wrap that up. So the end result here is you're going to notice my code remains relatively the same, that this little finish title function is not going to run until we finish out our sleep. And I've added in the async await calls to say, hey, we're going to do this asynchronously. This little await is then going to make sure that we don't accidentally run that last line before the operation up above it completes. The end result here, when I run this, is you'll notice that we're still going to wind up waiting somewhere between that 5 and 10 seconds, but behind the scenes, what will now happen is that is going to spin off onto a separate thread. By utilizing my async await, what I'm able to do is take long-running operations and put them onto a different thread. This allows my application to still be responsive. This allows my application to potentially accept more requests and allow it to scale better.